Welcome to Fun in Key West, where every day feels like a mini fest. Grab a drink, take it slow. We'll show you where the locals go. Food, fun, and stories to tell. Hidden gems you know so well. Your Key West experts here to say it's fun in Key West every day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Historic Marker Monday. As you can see, I'm still in Florida. I'm in Orlando, and hopefully you have no problems hearing me. It's still chilly, and I have the neighbor who is running their AC unit, but I think it's double dutying as a heater. But anyway, if you can't hear me, let me know, but I really appreciate you showing up. Today, we are all about a place that you probably walk by and have no idea that you're walking by something so amazing. This is Clinton Square. So this is what we do, and this is why you join me every Monday, is we talk about those historic markers. And if you are over in front of the Custom House, and you've got the Custom House in front of you, to your left is going to be the Mel Fisher Museum, and right behind you in this little square is a marker, and it's marking Clinton Square. Now, if you look over to your right, you're going to see the Clinton Square markets. A lot of people think that's the Clinton Square. Nope, Clinton Square is this place right there in the middle in front of the Custom House. And what's really neat about this is there is a direct connection to the history of Key West in the Civil War. If you are joining me live, please do a shout out and let me, say hey so that I can find out where you're at and make sure you are staying warm. So a lot of people pass by this and don't even realize what it is. They just think it's something that is offering some sort of decoration for this area in front of the Custom House. But let me set the stage. We're in 1861. It's Florida in 1861. And the politicians in Tallahassee are not real sure which side to choose on the Civil War. And honestly, at this point in time, Florida is leaning towards secession. So what happened next was the Union had soldiers already stationed in Key West, and they were given orders to take control of the forts and the military installations in Key West. And from that moment on, in 1861, Key West becomes the only southern city occupied by the Union for the entire Civil War. So it's the only southern city that actually is occupied by the Union for the entire time. And it divides the island, and this is where obviously the story gets human. Not everyone in Key West supported the Union. Some sea captains left to join the Confederate Navy. Residents with ties to the Bahamas returned there. There was quiet tension, but not necessarily a battle that took place in Key West at this point. You had neighbors, just like everywhere else in the country, that were side by side and had different loyalties, but continued to live side by side. But there was not enough, I'd like to point this out though, there was not enough Confederate support to threaten the Union control of Key West at the time. And both sides absolutely knew the other existed. It's not like they were in a silo and didn't know what was going on. So imagine being in Key West during this time, and you're aware of what everybody else is doing, but then again, you're kind of sticking with your own loyalties. So after the Civil War, there is an obelisk that is erected in the center there. And that's that monument. I actually had to look up what that meant. It's a monument, and it was erected by the Navy Club of Key West, and it honors the Union officers and sailors and soldiers that served, and not necessarily those that died in war, but they died in service at Key West Station from 1861 to 1865. So these weren't necessarily battlefield deaths. These were disease or accidents or service-related deaths that were common at the military post at the time. So this monument is all about duty and service and the loss from the Union perspective. Now, just like all the other stories that we talk about in Key West, in comes the curveball. And there's a metal fence that you're going to see that surrounds this monument. And it was installed by R. Vining Harris. And he was a strong Confederate supporter. And he was a Confederate doctor. And he was actually the father of the person who built the southernmost house. So why this matters is a Confederate sympathizer adds a structure to the Union Memorial space to honor Confederate losses. So now you have a memorial where you have not only the Union showing, their homage to those that were lost, but the Confederate side as well. And we believe it's the only place in the country where a Union and Confederate memorial share the same physical space. Walked around a lot of Civil War battlefields and cemeteries, and I don't really see where they're all combined in the same space. They may share the same area, but not the same space. So it's one plot, very Key West, very complex, very layered, very human. So Key West was Southern, but not fully Confederate. And the military control, and you see this a lot in of the other historic markers scattered throughout Key West. There was a huge impact from the military on Key West. And the square that you probably walked by and didn't realize all of the historic significance to represents occupation, division, coexistence, and memories. It's not about who won or who lost, but it was about who was lost. And so both sides are absolutely recommended or are represented there. If Civil War history is your thing, or you want to learn more about the Key West role in the Civil War, there are those monuments that you can, or the forts that you can go explore. You have Fort Zack, you have the East Martello and the West Martello, even though the West Martello, and we talked about this, had no cannons actually fired. As you start to explore some of the other historic markers in Key West, you're going to see that Key West plays a very vital role in military history throughout the years. And its military presence actually shaped the size and what Key West looks like today. So, as I always say, I encourage you to slow down, take a look at these historic markers, take a note of the stories that they're telling. They may honor a home, they may honor a place, they may honor a person, but there's always a significance to these markers. And so, if you have an interest in exploring more of these, there's over 120 of them throughout Key West. Head over to FunInKeyWest.com, and over there, we have a self-guided tour of all of these historic markers, and plus a whole lot more. Guides on where to eat and where to drink and where to stay, and so much more. In the meantime, it's a very chilly beginning of February of 2026, and what we know is the groundhog saw his shadow, and we're supposed to get another 6 weeks of winter. I hope not, but that's all up to that. Mother Nature, I guess, to remind us of that. I encourage you to let me know what other markers are you interested in learning more about. What other markers do you walk by and you wonder, I wonder what the whole story is? Because I love to tell these stories on Mondays. As always, thank you so much for joining me on this Monday. While you are over at FunInKeyWest.com, be sure to sign up for our newsletter, and that gets you the opportunity to play our trivia game every week and a chance to win a swag box, and sign up for our book club. All that information's over there. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. You guys have a great Monday. Stay warm, and we'll talk to you later.